Hey guys, welcome back to Crow Customs. And just again, thank you for anybody that's watched the last videos and subscribed. Do really appreciate it. So in the last one, we removed the inner wings on this and built this structure in here. But I feel like it's still left this a little bit weak. So what I've done is I've nipped down to my local hobby shop and got some brass rod, 0.81mm stuff. Can only be thin because there's not a great deal of room under that area. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this brass rod and glue it down the inside of here. Push it into that corner, right into that corner, and then keep it all the way down there because that'll just give it a bit more strength. So we're going to do that, but then also in this episode we are going to shorten the bed, remove this bed floor and remove this roof. So I'll come back to you in a second when I've glued in this bit of brass. Okay guys, right, so they're now glued into place with a very good amount of super glue in there, beaded all the way along that bit of brass. The reason I've left that as long as it is to go all the way into the cab is I think it's just going to provide more strength rather than leave a weak point round about here. So I don't know how to explain it, but I think that will work there. But the next, while that's drying, or while it was drying, we need to convert this. This wants to be a short wheelbase. So I've dragged this 72 GNC out of the cabinet so I can match up the wheelbase from it. I mean, I know this is a 72 and this is a 61, but I reckon the wheelbases are going to be about the same. So I've had a measure up, and from the wheelbase on the long wheelbase is 130mm, whereas the wheelbase on the short wheelbase is 115mm. I didn't look at accuracy of it from real trucks and stuff like that, what they should be, but what I've done then is marked the bed. So I'm going to cut 16mm rather than 15mm off the front of this bed. So because when I've finished it, when I've made the cut, I'm going to panel it back on the front with some 1mm styrene. So that'll give a 15mm shortening on the truck. However, before I make them cut, this bed, once that front's off it, is going to become really flimsy. So what we'll do is, like in real cars, when they start cutting them up, roof chopping them, etc., they brace the body on it. So I'm going to brace this cab towards the front here, so I can make the cuts and stop the whole cab from flexing. I'll just tack it on at little areas here with a little bit of super glue, leave that to dry, and then that should make it a little bit more solid and allow me to make the cuts and then brace it forward. Okay, I'll come back to you when I've glued that on. Alright, okay, so we've glued that bit of plastic here into place to brace that cab, that bed, those bed sides, okay? And then we're going to make these cuts. So I've measured back 16mm from the leading edge of the bed, and then we've put some of this Dymo tape on. Dymo tape is this stuff that you use through a machine and it punches letters into it for labels kind of thing. But it's really good, it's quite thick. It's really good to run your saw along as a guide for making square cuts, especially if you're as useless as me at it. So we're going to cut this off here and down this side, and then we're just going to cut this whole bed area off and clean the cuts up, because obviously once this is shortened it's no longer going to fit, so we may as well get rid of it. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that now. Alright, so this is where things start getting a little bit scary. So basically cutting up what is a 60-year-old model that was in reasonable condition. So that's now gone, don't need that. And then this bit has gone from the front of the bed. So essentially now we have a short bed. However, it does look a little bit weird because a little bit of length needs to be taken out there, maybe where I've drawn that line there. To kind of get it into a little bit more balance. Now, this part here, this bit here, I'm going to save because I need this shape. Because as I said before, I'm going to continue this character line round the back of the bed. The kind of inspiration that's come from this has come from the bed on this one is by a model by Bill Stillwagon. He's done a 50 Chevy pickup custom that's got a cameo bed on it. It's got a roll pan there, but then also he's done a AMT 53 Ford pickup, which is continue the character line round the back. So I'll just show you them pictures now. Alright guys, those two models were built by Bill Stillwagon a few years ago. Bill, if you're watching this, I know you've seen the link, but I hope you don't mind me unashamedly ripping the pictures off your Focky page. So yeah, what we need, as I say, what we need to do now is going to leave that little bit of length there because we're not sure this sort of balance. There is one thing that I am considering doing on the bed is we've got this leftover bit of El Camino. Now, these wheel arches, I don't know, they may be a little bit dull and boring, so I'm thinking maybe graft the El Camino arches into it, give it a bit of a different shape. We'll see. However, what we're going to do first now is the next major thing is to remove the roof, because at that point then we'll see exactly what shape we're working with, how it balances out, whether we need to take a section out of the body. If you can see on the cab here, I've made, just done some marks. I'm trying to decide if we do need to section the bottom part of the cab, whether we take it from the middle of the body or we just simply trim off the bottom. I'm thinking that it might be easier to cut this off, because I think if we start cutting from the middle, we'll run into all sorts of problems with the wheel arches, because we don't want to mess with this too much because of the fragility of that. So, right, we'll cut the roof off and come back to you. Okay, so there you go, the roof's gone. And I've kind of mocked it up with bits of tape, blue tack, the coffee stirrers, and it's kind of getting the shape of what I had in my head. Yeah, it's definitely radical. Definitely need to shorten this rear end. I'm going to go digging through the parts box. I've got an idea of what I can do here. Still undecided whether to section the body or not. I do definitely think it'll benefit from it, but we'll make a decision on that a bit later. Now, I need to do some construction work on the front of the bed, because I need to create basically the front of the bed and then a bit of an area for where the chassis plate's going to sit, and that will hold all of the bed in place so it locks straight and secure. But this is where we're going to leave it for now. I've got a definite, as I say, I've got a definite idea for the rear end. I'm still a little bit up in the air about what's going to happen up front. I'm thinking, I don't know yet, but these things, I have a rough idea in my head of what I want to do, and then they kind of end up a little bit more fluid of how and what I'm going to do. So I'll leave it here for now, and see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.